Hi guys, and welcome to another episode. Today on Peds Bites, we're going to learn how to do the most amazing gluten-free blueberry muffins. Yes, blueberry, why you might ask? Because blueberries are one of my kids' favorite foods, not only to snack on, but also in their pancakes and muffins. If you remember from last time's video, we made some amazing, delicious, superfied pancakes that were super nutritious, and we're going to take those same steps and put it to some amazing muffins today. And I want to point out that I'm trying to make sure that all families understand that it is simple to make and modify normal recipes to a healthier, better version for your kids and your family. So join me today where we will superfy blueberry muffins and make the most nutritious and yet delicious things for you and your kids. Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Aaron Dykstra. I am a nurse practitioner with his doctorate, and I work specifically with kids, and I love doing functional and holistic medicine. That is one of my specialties, my passions, and my loves. So join me today where we're gonna make some amazing gluten-free blueberry muffins. And so I don't know if you remember from our last video, we made some gluten-free pancakes that were absolutely delicious and great for you. Today we're gonna take those same basic steps and put them together into a different food item, a great muffin. And I wanna show families how easy it is. Within under 15 minutes, you can pop out of your oven or your barbecue or wherever you wanna cook these things, some amazing food products that even the pickiest eaters generally will love. So, if you remember from our last video, we are gonna use that same gluten-free flour blend, which is a mixture of oat, brown rice, and quinoa flour. That's what this is, my little bit of leftover, which will be perfect for this recipe. We also have today, in addition, that flax and chia meal. This will be one of the great binding agents that we use, in addition to being loaded with fiber, omegas, and rich in a lot of vitamins and minerals. We're gonna use our coconut oil. This is some coconut oil that was left over from making some homemade granola the other day. So we're gonna use the leftover of this and use it for our muffins today. We've got our notorious applesauce, which is gonna be used as part of our natural sweetening agent. And then again, it just makes muffins and things just so much tastier. I absolutely love my applesauce. We've got some honey here that we've bottled a little bit. We're gonna use this honey as our main sweetener as well as a little bit of stevia. Again, I find when I do a lot of honey in my baked goods, sometimes it can make them really heavy. But if I use a little bit of honey, a little bit of stevia, a little bit of applesauce, it lightens up those recipes and makes everything delicious and fluffy. I've got some coconut milk here that's left over. This will be my milk agent. I think I actually have a little bit of oat milk mixed with this. Since we make our own milks, we're gonna do that on our next video presentation. We'll do some videos on how to make homemade milks. It'll be great. As always, we added some protein powder to the last pancake batter. Today we're gonna do some organic collagen peptides for those who want to add a little bit more protein and a little bit oomph to their great muffins. We have our traditional baking powder. Remember, this is aluminum-free baking powder. Don't forget that part. You don't want to be putting a lot of aluminum in your brain or your kids' brains. This is our baking soda, another leavening agent, and then our little bit of stevia. We have our eggs. Luckily, we were lucky. We've got a whole bunch of eggs from our chickens outside. And then we've got some delicious organic blueberries. Yes, they're a little bit white because they were frozen. We do buy bulk blueberries when we find them on a good deal, and then we will freeze them and thaw them and use them in all of our baked goods and just to eat them cold on a hot day. So what we're gonna do today is get this recipe going. I've got my little cheat sheet here below because it's hard for me to memorize just big recipes without having a little help. So what we're gonna do is start out with a half cup of my oil. So you can do olive oil, again, you can do ghee. I try to teach families on how to do some of the dairy-free. If you're getting a lot of your butters that are organic and you're not having to worry about where the cows are feeding or what they're being fed, then you can do a high-quality organic butter, and it works really good too, like a raw butter. And so I am not against butter or dairy by any means, as long as it's coming from a really good source. So we've got our half cup. We're only gonna do one batch today, just because we have done some baking in my house lately, and we just don't want a whole bunch of leftovers. at this time. Even though we'll usually freeze them, have them for snacks and stuff later, we still just want to be a little bit careful on that. After we do our half cup of oil, we're going to mix in our 3 eggs. And by mix in, I mean crack in. So we're just going to gently put our 3 eggs in here really quick. These have been pre-washed since they do come from my chickens. Want to make sure there's no E. coli or anything else on the exterior of those eggs. Oh, the color and the flavor of homegrown eggs or eggs that are organic compared to those store-bought ones is absolutely unreal. If you guys haven't looked at the difference, I want you to go buy one of those $1.50 dozen eggs, and then I want you to go buy a dozen of organic eggs or get them from your neighbor who's doing grass-fed chickens, and I want you to crack it open, look at the difference in color and the yolks and the texture, and then I want you to cook it up and just blindfold taste everything and see the flavor difference. You can taste every little bit of difference in this. It is absolutely amazing. So for my vanilla component, I just put a little bit of our vanilla because we get by the gallon a special vanilla from Mexico that we absolutely love. And so it calls for a couple teaspoons. I am heavy-handed when it comes to my vanilla because I absolutely love the essence and aroma and the taste of a little bit of vanilla. And so I am going to put extra vanilla extract in, even though it only calls for 1 teaspoon. I put in a hearty 3 to 4 teaspoons. You can do the same if you want some extra vanilla love in your muffins. We next have 2 cups of flour. So we're gonna go ahead, empty out these little shells that I put in, and we're gonna do 2 cups. This is a half cup measuring cup, and so we're gonna do 1 cup. We're gonna have just enough, 2 cups. And just in case, because I got some oil on the inside, so it's taken some of that flour off, so I added a teeny bit extra just to make up for the loss that's in the cup. Perfect, look at that, just enough. Now, as I always said, every time I do a batch or a recipe, I will add 1 nice healthy spoonful, meaning tablespoonful, of this chia and flax meal. It just adds so much nutrient density to it, and it adds so many healthy foods to it that I will never, ever not do this for the health benefits alone. Next, we're gonna put in a little bit of applesauce. Again, I'll probably put in about a 1/4 cup of applesauce. This is not only a great natural sweetener, but it also helps bind up those flours so that I don't get just too fluffy of muffins. I actually get a nice, or excuse me, too dense of a muffin. I get a nice fluffy muffin. So we'll do right around a little over a 1/4 cup here. We'll just pour that in. I'll have a very finite recipe for you guys when I post it on the end of this video. Again, like I said in my first video, I hate measuring things, but I will follow a recipe to give it to others. Next, what we have is a little bit of salt. Oh my goodness, I forgot my salt. So we've got my Himalayan salt right here. We'll put, it calls for a 1/4 teaspoon. I'm just gonna put about 1/4 teaspoon, which is like a big pinch in my opinion. Again, I'll put better measurements for you, but for me, it's a big pinch is a 1/4 teaspoon. Or 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon, excuse me. Next, we're gonna put a little bit of Superfy powder into this. Everything that I can that'll add more nutrition for my kids, I'm gonna add in. So we add a little bit of collagen or whey protein or vegetable protein powder. And again, this just adds a little bit more nutrition, and it helps to bind to the simple carbohydrates so that my kids just aren't getting a lot of sugar spikes with those carbohydrates. So if I can add healthy fats, healthy proteins to any of their carbohydrate-rich meals, it will help them not get those sugar spikes, and it'll make everybody happier in the end. Next, I'm gonna shake it up. Got my coconut milk here, a little bit of oat milk it looks like inside too. Shake it up, we're gonna do a nice 1/2 cup of my oat milk. And I'll do a teeny bit extra just because I did add the flax and the chia meal because those do absorb a lot of those fluids, and I wanna make sure that I don't make it too dry of a batter. And then last thing we're gonna do is, second to last I should say, we're gonna add some of our sweetener. So again, I only do a little stevia goes a long way, and so I do probably equivalent of about 1/2 teaspoon of stevia for this whole recipe since I already added applesauce. And then I'm gonna do just a touch of honey because I do really like the flavor of honey in my baked goods. So I'm probably gonna put the equivalent of probably 4 tablespoons worth, or about a 1/4 cup in there, just enough to add some natural sweetness. Absolutely delicious. And that way, I don't have to have too much honey, so it makes it really dense, and I can have just enough honey so it has a lot of that nice natural sweetness, which makes the rest of that muffin pop with the blueberries. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna gently mix this up. Since my blueberries are frozen, this is one caveat to cooking with frozen blueberries. You wanna make sure to put the blueberries in last, otherwise, because they're frozen, they'll stick really quick to your flour and other liquid products. And so to not have that happen, you want to make sure to thaw out your blueberries a little bit or put them in just very last. And so what I'm doing right here is I'm mixing it all up. I want to get all of those components mixed nicely until it's a pretty thick consistency, like a pancake batter. Getting that all mixed in. Some of my favorite muffin recipes, I really enjoy in the wintertime doing like pumpkin muffins. And you can also do some amazing carrot cake muffins. And so I want you guys to be adventurous when you're making these muffins. You don't have to do a boring old blueberry muffin. But for our family, we absolutely love the blueberries. But we definitely venture out to things like walnut and other nut muffins. We'll do the... oh my goodness, we'll do the pumpkin muffins, we'll do carrot cake muffins, we'll just do plain vanilla muffins. Sometimes we'll do chocolate muffins with raw cacao powder that are also very tasty. My kids love it. It just depends on what everyone's in the mood for. So you can see right here the texture. It's just a nice semi-runny pancake batter texture. It looks absolutely beautiful. And so we are going to go ahead and put the leavening agent in now. And so what this calls for is 2 teaspoons of my baking powder. Oh, that's my stevia. Got the wrong one. So 2 teaspoons of my baking powder. And again, what I like to do is I like to smush it in my palm because I want to get all those little baking powder clumps out. Because the last thing that I want is to bite into a delicious bite of muffin to then be grossed out by a nasty chunk of baking powder. So I'm not going to do that. So we're going to do 2 teaspoons of this amazing baking powder. Again, aluminum free. Hint, hint. Not trying to beat the dead horse, as they say, but that is super important. And then I'm just going to add a pinch of baking soda. Again, there are different leavening types of agents. They do their own leavening. And so I do like the combination of what they both do together. And then I'm going to gently mix that in. The key with leavening agents is you don't want to overmix them. You can actually ruin their ability to have that proper leavening function or fluffy function if you actually over whip or over agitate the dough or the batter or whatever you're making. And so just make sure to mix it up just enough so it's nice and mixed in. And then leave it be, and as they say, watch it grow, because it's going to grow on you. All right, and so we have our batter mixed here. You can actually start to see it already fluffing up because of those leavening agents. It's looking delicious. I'm super excited. Now what we're going to do is I am going to add some of my blueberries. They're quickly thawing out for me, so this is good. I don't mind adding them in a little bit of frozen at this point because they'll thaw out pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead and add right around a cup of blueberries because I absolutely love lots of blueberries in every bite. You can add a couple if you're only a 1 per bite blueberry person, but me, myself, and my family, we are a as much as you can cram in each bite blueberry family. And so that's what we're going to do with this recipe. Now, we've got this all mixed up. You can see that I'm going to get at least a good 5 or 6 blueberries with each muffin, which is exactly what I'm hoping for. My taste buds crave and love those blueberries in every bite. And so we've got this all mixed up. It's looking absolutely delicious and wonderful. And what we'll do is we'll get ready here and we'll spoon this into my cupcake muffins. So something to remember with cupcakes, again with everything else, you know, there's a lot of varieties of different metals and things that come in these cupcake tins. I do not like to, you can get stainless steel ones. We're actually waiting for our stainless steel ones right now, just because then you don't have to worry about either lead or aluminum or any of the Teflon coating getting off into your baked goods. I always recommend using something that won't leach into the baked good, especially since you're cooking right around 350 degrees. which means you want to be very cautious about those aluminum liners. Most of those little cupcake tin muffins liners are aluminum based, and so you don't want to use those. You can do the paper ones, but then I would get white ones if you can, just due to the fact that the white ones won't have the dyes and the other chemicals in them, and you're less likely to get bad products in your food. These are silicone. Silicone is pretty resilient until you get it to a higher temperature. Then it can also start to break down. I'll give you some more information on what you can put in for your baked goods to help them the most. But the best thing is getting like a stainless steel one, and then you don't have to worry about liners or absorption of anything, okay? So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna gently fill in my cupcake muffin tins, and I'm gonna do them pretty much 3/4 full. If I do them too full, as it bakes and as it rises, it's gonna be a mess. It's gonna go everywhere, all over this tray. So since I don't want that, I will put them almost up to the top. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. There's so many blueberries in this. My kids are gonna go bananas. Uh-oh. See, this is the fun. You can make a mess. Nobody yells at you. You're good. These are gonna be absolutely amazing. What I'm gonna do is I will end up stopping and pausing the video just long enough to be able to bake these. They're gonna take a solid 25 minutes at least to bake these muffins. And then once they're done, we will come back, take a look at the muffins, and we'll be able to enjoy the finished product together. I'm super excited. All right, we're almost done. We've got a couple more slots here. I want to point out, if I didn't yammer so much, meaning if I wasn't talking so much through these videos, we could easily get a recipe like this done within like 10 to 15 minutes max. And so what I'm trying to show families with these videos is that it really doesn't take a lot of extra time to make something that your kids can eat that will be very beneficial for their bodies, especially more so than anything packaged that you'll buy over the counter. And the benefit is you can freeze these, and they'll stay good for a long time, and it just makes a great snack that you can come back to, or your kids can come back to, that you don't even have to worry about. You never have to stress what the heck are they getting in the cupboard or in the snacks. We actually put a lot of our snacks in a cubby in the fridge, one of those bottom drawers, little chilling drawers, just because then the kids at their will can go and eat whatever they want, but we know it's all healthy and good. I know I'm filling these up a little bit more, but I'm just trying to make it a little bit even here so we don't have some that bake well, some that don't bake well. There we go. We're ready to rock and roll. All right, guys, we're gonna pause really quick, and then when we come back, we're gonna have some gorgeous blueberry muffins done and ready to show you guys. I will taste them to tell you how delicious they are, but on your end, you can do the same recipe at home with almost no work, and you can have the benefit of some delicious, healthy muffins. All right, guys, we'll see you in just a little bit. All right, guys, welcome back, and sorry for the suspenseful wait, but we did it. We made ourselves some delicious, absolutely super-fried blueberry muffins loaded with nutrition that your kids are gonna absolutely love. Now, I'm gonna show you the end product. Look at this thing. Absolutely gorgeous. Really nice color on top, obviously not burnt. Remember, we do not like eating charcoal. Loaded with blueberries inside. I do have to let these cool down because I put so many blueberries in. If I try to take them out of these little wrappers early, it's gonna fall apart on me. So I'm gonna let these go ahead and cool down, but at the end of the video, I'm gonna add a photo of what those muffins look like outside of their little package. And I just want to thank everybody today for joining me on another episode. Next time, we're going to learn about how to make blueberry or other waffles. I love waffles. My kids love waffles. We all love waffles. But we're going to take waffles to the next level. We're actually going to probably add a little bit of a natural leavening, and we'll do a little bit of a sourdough start with the waffles. And we'll start teaching you guys a little bit about gluten-free sourdough starts and how that can also add a powerful punch to your food and a lot of health benefits as well. And so again, this week, blueberry muffins. Last week we covered pancakes. Next week we're gonna cover waffles and how to even make them better by adding a little bit of a gluten-free start. So if you have any questions, Obviously, let me know. Post your questions down below on the video. And until next time, we will see you guys. So get excited, get pumped up, because we're going to make waffles together. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.